Hey everyone, this is your girl Camielle Janae, and today we talking about something a little spicy. But before we get into that, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel for future notifications on future videos. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Black millionaires on Twitter/X, they had some things to say about black parents dealing with education. So let's look at this. It says, Black children underperforming in school is not a funding issue. The issue is simple. Black parents simply do not care to do anything above the bare minimum in regards to their children's education. Y'all, look, some of y'all probably feel away right now just based off of that. Now, that's what they said. That's not what I'm saying. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. So right now it's talking about how a lot of black students are not performing as well as the white students, period. And it's saying that also we see that there are a lot of schools who are dealing with not having enough funding and things like that, from the state, whatever it may be. Okay, so a lot of people are claiming that students who are not doing as well is because of the lack of funds, right? And so here they're saying that's not the case. So I want to talk about that. I'm going to say my opinion. You let me know if you agree or not. I say that is not the full reason. That's what I'm going to say. I do agree that schools need to be funded because, for example, at the beginning of the year when teachers are given a classroom, it's a blank classroom. You have about 24 desks. You have 24 seats. You have a board. You have a desk, like a dry erase board, smart board now. But that's pretty much it. You might have a sharpener still in the wall. I don't think so. Not a lot of classrooms got that anymore. But you don't have a lot. You got a nameplate maybe. So the teacher, right, out of her pocket, his pocket, is providing all the things that parents expect to see in their child's classroom on day one. So the parent is providing the name labels. The parent is providing the beginning cleaning materials that you want to see so that that classroom looks good, right? Maybe the school janitor may have some, you can ask them or whatever. The cubbies all labeled, the walls in the back of the classroom, everything all labeled and stuff, how the kids go home on charts and things. This is not provided by the school. Now, some schools do have enough money to where they do give the teacher like an allowance and you can request some of those materials. But I can tell you that no classroom that is fully decked out, everything was provided just by the school. It's not a thing. But here we go with the funding. And there are different classrooms, right? There are classrooms who got everything. When you go in there, it's like your eyes going like this. And there are other classrooms who, they did what they could with what they had. Okay. And so for us to say that right there, and that's just an example of decorating the classroom and having it ready, is the sole reason why our black students are underperforming, that would be a lie. That is false, okay? And so I'm going to now break it down. It said that it's because black parents simply do not care above anything the bare minimum. And this is the thing. I believe, because I've had many black parents, mostly black parents, had white parents, I've had Hispanic parents, whatever. They do care. But here's the thing, it's levels to this, right? And so I would say as a parent, let's just give an example, because there's a lot of the examples that I've seen in my classroom where you have a parent, they're working, right? They may be a single parent. They're taking care of the kids. They have to have a way for them to go home after school, whether they have to pick them up, they have to have grandparents come pick them up, whatever it may be, a cousin's mom, they come pick them up. They may have to have child care because some kids are going to the Boys and Girls Club. Some kids are going to after school programs, things like that. It's a lot. And a lot of these kids got siblings, okay? So it's a lot of things that they have to care about on a daily basis. This is where this part of the underperforming come in. That gets lost in the sauce. That gets mixed in with all the other cares that parents have. And so it's completely understandable. I'm speaking as a teacher. I get it, right? And I've had parents come to me and talk to me about, this. I get home at this time to where they're eating dinner and they're getting ready for bed, things like that. Or I work nights and so I barely get to see them, people's situations are so different and they're going through a lot, and I get it. But here's what I'm saying as a Black woman. I'm saying as a teacher, as a Black teacher, period, right? I'm saying that, yes, we have to care more. That's what I'm going to say. Because if your child, right, because you know your child, and if your child is not doing well in school, if they are not getting good grades, if the teacher is having to call you all the time for negative things, yes, more has to be done, right? And I get it. You're busy. You have all these other things. You're stressed out. Stressed out. Like, why can't they just act right? Blah, blah. I don't know what to do. Things like that. I'm just saying, that's your child, right? We're talking about their future. We're talking about how different progress reports, things like that, their scores continue and follow them as they progress in, the different grades. And so we have to care more. That's just really what it is. And so you see your child's not doing well, see what services are offered in your community for tutoring, things like that. You're going to have to move some stuff around. And a lot of people say, about a mother and she always figures it out and she makes a way and things like that. That's what we're asking in this situation. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that parents, it's not that they're not caring, right? But they have so much on their plates. And so you just have to show it, like, in this area. Like, education is important. So we got to minimize how much screen time we got with that TV. We got to, if you're going to do some screen time, like I said, do some math. If they're struggling in math, do some writing, some English, whatever it may be, whatever they're struggling in. Incorporate in the day so that child knows, no, this is important. We're going to learn this today. Like, we're going to do better in this area. We're going to see some things turn around. We're going to have to change. And the reason is because we cannot just think about now. I'm not even just thinking about those scores on those tests. But I'm saying that if this doesn't change, you're just going to go to the next grade. The next teacher going to say the same thing. You're going to go to the next grade. The next teacher going to say the same thing. And then it's going to be harder for them to get into college if that's the route that they want to go. So basically, it's rough, right? There's a lot on your plate. And so you like, I care, of course. It's my baby. It's my child. But you have to care more because if you want them to have an easier future, right, than you're experiencing right now, possibly, or it may not be the case. It's just an example. Then you have to set them up for success. They have to actually care about those grades. They have to care about doing that homework at night. They have to care about studying for the different exams and tests, okay? And then the other thing I'm going to talk about is during the school year, you have all these standardized tests that you have to do, right? Math being one example. And you typically take it 3 times a year. You take it towards the beginning to see what they came in with. You take it towards the middle by winter break, and then you take it towards the end of the school year. So you have students coming in, starting from, the younger grades, the primary grades. And if they don't have that knowledge that, wasn't taught to them at home, at pre-K, whatever it may be, then they're coming in behind. And so that actually starts the cycle. And so they're coming in behind. The teacher has to take them and say, okay, this is what they know. And they do all these assessments at the beginning of the year. It doesn't matter what grade you're in. They have to go back then. You have to meet your students where you are. Today, that's what teachers are being taught. What does that mean? That means that time is being taken away from the current topics that should be taught, and you have to go back. That does not mean that the standardized test date changes. And so, come the first test date, yep, it's going to show that they are not meeting the goals, that they are very low, they are behind. Okay, so now you go to the second one. Oh, you're just getting started on this year's topics. So what is it going to show? That they are behind, that they are low, that they are not meeting the goals that they should. Okay, so like I said, these test dates doesn't change. You just consistently playing the catch-up game. Then you have to send those test scores, and that determines the funding that the school gets. That's why it's correlated. The school will not do well if most of the year or half the year you spend time trying to catch your students up to what they should have known when they came in. That is why it all comes together. That is why parents have to do their part, okay? And it does take a village. So I'm saying if you don't really know, if you know that you're not that good at math, if you know that, yes, you have to call your sister who is really good, see if she can find some time to help your son or daughter. You have to, ask some people at your church, things like that. You're doing all that you can just so that your child to succeed. So at the end of the day, I don't believe that black parents don't care. I don't believe that parents don't care, period, because I don't just have black students underperforming, but that is the higher numbers that I see. I believe that if your specific child is not meeting the standards, is not doing what they should be doing at their age, right, that more has to be done. We cannot just let it continue and you just say, I don't know what to do. Nope, we have to figure it out for our babies because they are the future and they are dependent on us, right? They're dependent on us to figure it out for them until they get old enough and realize that, okay, I have to get it together, I have to do this. It's because of the skills that they learn when they're young. So those are my thoughts. I know it's a lot and it's not easy. I'm not saying it is. I want to hear your thoughts. Educators, people in the community, parents, anybody who has an opinion. I want to hear what you have to say about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you until next time.